All right. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the ozfortress Summer Cup number 2, or the first one for 2019, but the second off-season cup for this off-season of ozfortress here. I'm Xander. Joining me tonight on our co-caster role is Beta, and Thermite is operating the camera for you tonight. How are you doing, Beta? He is muted, apparently, in Mumble. How are
Wow,
you
that was so
doing,
rude. Yeah, but other than being extremely offended, I'm doing good. This has been just early morning casting on this bright Sunday morning in the winter, and you guys have like nice summer. Yeah, I'm not jealous at all.
Well, I mean,
Not
nice
even a
summer
little
is
bit.
like horribly sticky. I'm not a fan of summer.
Wow, that's how you know you live in a warm place, I guess.
But yeah, so it's going to be a really good game, a really good night of Team Fortress 2 for you guys tonight. We have the premier grand finals of this Summer Cup here between the top two teams. These two teams have gone through our 3 rounds of single elimination and emerged victorious. You might recognize a few of these players from our last Summer Cup cast, as quite a few of them are returning. The team Unanimous Confusion has come back pretty much exactly the same, just a couple of little shuffles. And the other team is a little bit different this time. I think these guys are calling themselves Lollipop at the moment, and they are pretty much the top players of their various classes right now. Let me just go down who's on my screen at the moment. I'll start with Unanimous Confusion. Which is red team on your screens. Ben is going to be playing Scout. Deft is going to be playing Demo. Half Wrong Medic. Spade is, I believe, playing Pocket again. Raze is following up on the other Scout. Oh, sorry, Spade playing Roma even. Raze playing the other Scout, and Krolic or Rocky is playing Pocket tonight. Do you recognize any of those names, Peter?
Yeah, I think Krolik and Krolik I recognize, but I can't remember anything about him. And then Half Wrong I've never seen before. I think. Other than that, I think I recognize mostly everyone. So I've been studying up. So hope at some point I'll actually know what I'm talking about doing these casts. So I'm working on it, and I'm like halfway there at the moment, I'd say.
Awesome. So. And then on the other team, they are missing one at the moment, I believe. But we do see Lambs, which is Cookie. Everyone knows him as Cookie here. He's a fantastic scout. He'll be playing Scout tonight. Riot is going to be playing Roma. Sam is going to be your other Scout. Grim Shadow of the Endless Dark is Redcoat. Redcoat is going to be playing Demo tonight. Doge is playing Medic. I'm not sure who their Pocket is because they aren't here at the moment, and I haven't checked. That's my bad. We'll let
Might
you
be
know.
Vana.
Probably Vana. Yeah, that makes sense. Cool. So yeah, that's the teams. Judging by who you know on each team, who do you reckon is gonna take this first map tonight, Beta?
I'd say Lollipop would probably be my favorite, just because I recognize literally every single person on there, and like that's really good, right? And I know a lot of them are extremely good. We saw like Redcoat has been super good lately, as far as I can tell, and Sam is just the best scout in Australia, and Doge, good medic. Yeah, so it just looks super solid, and like I'm not gonna pretend I'm a complete expert, but it just looks like they have an overall stronger DM roster. But I'm not sure. You mentioned that Unanimous Confusion actually have the same roster as the last time around, so they might be a more kind of played together team. But I'm not sure if that's the case.
Yeah, well, so the one player who's different on Unanimous Confusion is Raze, their scout. Raze has quite good DM, but doesn't have the experience of playing at a high level that the rest of these guys do. So DM-wise, he's just the same as basically any other sort of, high-level scout. Like, he can hold his own, but he won't have that cohesion with the team, and he doesn't necessarily have the experience of, like, when to hold back and when to push forward at these higher levels, which may come into play seeing as these two teams are fairly evenly matched other than that. And then on the other side, we have Doge playing Medic, which is something he's not done for a fair few seasons. Unsure if any sort of rust will creep in there, but he's been playing Demo Man at a very high level. on the team that came second place last season, Xenophobia. He's very, very good at demo, but he originally started playing Medic many seasons ago. Oh, actually, probably not that many seasons ago, maybe 5?
In 21 he was playing Medic, so
Yeah.
not that long ago.
Yeah, so some really good players on both teams. Obviously, for me, players to watch out for are going to be your Sam and your Cookie, both very capable off classes and both very capable scouts. On the other side, probably Raze is quite good at sniper, but no one else really stands out as a solid off class player. They all kind of just play their class and don't sort of shift off depending on what's needed. But yeah, I'm pretty excited to see this. I'm not sure if we've mentioned this before, but this is a best of 3. The 3 maps that you are going to see tonight are Process, which is what we're warming up on right now, and then either Gullywash or Snakewater, depending on what gets picked. So it will be a best of 3. We may see 2 maps, we may see 3 maps, you never know. But yeah, we're just kind of waiting for Varna, the last player on blue team, to hop in, and then we can get started. Do you have any sort of players you're watching out for, Beta, in these 2 teams?
I will definitely be watching out for Deft. He's been a very good demo man as far as I can be able to tell. And I'm hoping he's going to put up a big performance, and I think he will need to if his team's going to have any chance here. He's going to be going up against Redcoats, and I think he's capable of doing that. So I'm going to be keeping an eye on him for sure, and also just fun to look at demos on Process, doing rollouts and getting jumped and stuff. And then on the same token, I will be looking at Spade quite a lot, because the few times I have seen him, he did a lot of really aggressive jump-ins and made a bunch of really big plays. So just keeping an eye on him, especially on these mid-fights, would be pretty fun, I think. And then other than that, yeah, let's just look at whoever goes sniper, right? That's how this game works. And both Sam and Cookie have been playing sniper in pre-game at some point, and they were both just completely mulching players, just like close range headshotting scouts and hitting people in the air. So, yeah, they look like they're properly warmed up. I'm not sure how this tournament was organized. Did you play all the matches today, or did you split it up between days?
Yeah, so this is a one-night cup. It's a single elimination thing, so if you lose, you're out, and there were 3 rounds. So there was first round, which was kind of like, whatever anyone plays. Then they had, Elmo is the last player. I wonder if he's going to be playing Soldier. That'll be very interesting. But yeah, so yes, it was all organized tonight. First round is like every team. Then we had the semifinals just then, and I dogged my team in Open to cast tonight because we did win the semifinals. So I've dogged the Open Grand Finals to cast this one. Good luck, everyone else. But
may his team forgive him.
But yeah, I mean, if Elmo's playing Soldier, that's kind of a bit interesting, because I mean, you've sort of said Spade and other soldiers to look out for. Spade, I think, has got a lot better recently at the Soldier class. Watching him in the last Summer Cup thing, he was doing very, very well as Soldier, especially on some maps that were slightly more unfamiliar to him. Elmo did play Soldier for that one as well, but he's definitely not known for his Soldier play. So I reckon if the matchup is between him and Rocky, that's like a no-brainer. Like, Rocky is definitely a better soldier than Elmo. I feel that there's no contention in saying that. But Elmo does have a lot more high-level experience than Rocky does. So it'll be really interesting to see how those two kind of play off each other, and how that kind of ends up working either towards or against each of these teams. We should hopefully see a ready up very soon. But just really quickly, one thing that I do want to mention, TF Live has recently got some subscriber emotes. I'm not big on Twitch, so I don't quite know how this works. I assume if you subscribe for a certain amount of months, you get emotes or something. We've been working with an artist, or Whitehoofed in particular has been working with an artist in designing some of these emotes. Not sure if they're 100% ready to go just yet, but these emotes would be pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't know how it works either. Alright, but it sounds like they have gone live in real time, so it's going to be about 1.5 minutes before we go live here. And yeah, it should I can't wait to see what's going to happen here with Elmo, because there is the problem right now where you have 3 scouts on one team, and then you're going to have to put someone on soldier, and it's a really experienced and good player, but at the same time he is off-classing, so it's always fun to see how that just impacts the team overall, because sometimes you can get away with it completely fine, and some players are just really good at playing different classes, but it doesn't sound like Elmo has that much experience on soldier. You know, I'm like just immediately thinking of someone like Stark or something that have just like played several seasons both as soldier and scout and even medic, right? And it's all fine. It's just the best at them all, but
yeah, I wouldn't
case for
say
Elmo.
he's quite Stark level, but he's obviously very accomplished at scout, and he's he's not bad at soldier, but like he's definitely not the best in the server at soldier. Roamer wise, I think Riot is probably the best roamer in the server. He's a very, very good jumper, and he has very, very good rocket aim and timing. One of the things that he kind of enjoys doing is he likes kind of wall bugging on some of these maps, which I know is frowned upon on ETF2L, but we like a little bit of fun here. So he'll often wall bug in strange spots, and that's something that I'm hoping to see come out from him tonight. One of the matches that I casted a couple of seasons ago had him on this map wall bugging above I think it was above rollout, which was really cool to see.
That's a very common one. We see that in ETFL all the time as well. It might be frowned upon, but people still do it because, I mean, it's an advantage and it's sneaky.
Do you still get banned for it, or is that not the case anymore?
No, they got made fun of so viciously that they backtracked on it.
Oh right, man, we've still been giving E2F2L shit for banning people for wall bugging. So I guess
I haven't corrected it because it's funny, you know. So yeah, just keep giving them shit for it. It's funny. That's just how it works. Yeah, it's really funny, but no, it's not illegal or anything, and they use it all the time. We use it all the time. But yeah, we are going live here, so this is going to be the grand final. Best of 3, first map coming in here. Unanimous something, again, Unanimous Confusion versus Lollipop in this first mid.
Awesome. So on this first mid, I'm going to be watching Deft roll out here as he does nail that surf through the choke, and he's just sitting there waiting for an arrow. But that soldier in Spade does go quite fast, hits a nice rocket onto their demo, but they're just taking things slowly right now, kind of just exchanging some stickies, not really doing anything. Sam and Elmo are trying to sort of feel out that right side from the attacker's perspective. Elmo does go down, but he does actually manage to take Ben. Spade is the other first pick to the stickies of Redcoat there, and they're jumping forward, cleaning up all those players. Rocky rather jumping forward, and it is Raze that manages to get Doge. But he does lose his life for it, and Deft is the last one up on that mid. What happened there, Peter?
Like we saw Elmo actually manage to get into the sewer area, so the PC area, right behind them, and then he just managed to get some good spam on while people were moving forward, and then there was some really good follow-up aggression as well. So it was really well timed. Just the fact that he got in there and didn't die from it, that allowed him to take down both soldiers, and then some players were just so far in that they had to commit, and they actually did get the medic. So Doge going down is really huge, otherwise they would have been in a lot of trouble, but half round went down as well. So overall, like a pretty good mid there from Lollipop, just slightly ruined by the fact that they did manage to lose their medic there at the end. There was some good aggression going on, so now we just see the Ben-on sniper being like babied by 4 players or something in lobby. He's gonna see.
This is actually Doge up on crits, and the crits stickies are coming in. They get Ben and Spade for that, but Redcoat does lose his life. Riot rather is in and does force Halfrong in the lobby area, and now Rocky is trying to jump forward, seeing what he can do, and that's 3 down on each side. Rocky going very, very far forward, may lose his life for this, but the scout is in Sam is forced to run backwards here, and they do manage to trade second for that failed crits. Now they know they're on crits. This sets up the interesting play where they're just gonna, wait for this crits and try to bait it out, I guess. Sam is really far forward. Yeah, really big push there. Spade jumping in and takes out, and Doge as well. Really big jump from Spade there. And Cookie does lose his life. Elmo is back in the rear, trying to get some nice rockets on Halfrong, but he can't hit those as Halfrong does surf away and hide behind his team. And that is pretty much a wipe, apart from the demo man there, Peter.
Very aggressive pushing through the choke there like technically they have a crits advantage, right? You know, when you pop crits and they pop equal, then you build crits faster, and then you can push on it. But they decide to go into choke either way, and they had the low ground, and just they eventually ended up losing the fight there. And Hafron also managed to just dodge around really well and just survive all the bombings. So just overall, just a really great result here. I mean, Grace, however, he will go in a little too far forward there, but Elmo has come in, and
Riot.
oh my god!
Oh, excellent jumps from Riot to force Halfrong there in the end. Rocky's trying to go forward with the tail end of this Uber, see if he can do anything. But this is now 70% ad on the side of Doge there, as they do have regular Uber up right now, and they're just going to wait and build this, wait for their two spawners, build this up, and then they're going to muscle this forward. Raze is sniping. I'm not sure if he's been called. He's sniping from the suicide as they're just holding back on that pipe. Grinding up, so they're expecting Raze to hit a good shot here, I reckon, as they're trying to push out. Blue team trying to take lobby a little bit as they're trying to muscle forwards here. They managed to get out door one actually, and the sniper hasn't come into effect just yet. Rocky jumping forward, losing his life. Spade jumping forward, losing his life, and the medic is quite low but hasn't been taken down at all. This sniper never really came into effect, as he is still is he still in sewer? No, he's backed off as well, and that is just a really clean clinical push from blue team, taking that out, Peter.
Yeah, you almost never see that against a sniper. This is one of the most uncomfortable things to do in all of TF2. Pushing out of last with Uber advantage against a sniper. It's just one of those things where you just want to pop out and do a door. But they didn't fall for that. But man, so many players have been trying to go behind that they actually end up having a really disfavorable Uber exchange here. We do see Sam eventually, no, not Sam, Elmo eventually take down Raze there on the flank. So now he's behind in this position, and he has actually been called out, and there we go, not quite able to get in there at the same time, and now everyone else just needs to get out through this choke, otherwise they're going to get mulched.
Yeah, some nice spam pills sort of keeping everyone back there as they do let Sam get out in the end. But yeah, that was a little bit of a sloppy Uber. Everyone kind of committing behind. Obviously didn't work out for them there, but this is the committing jump coming in from Spade. Spade doesn't get anything there. I don't know if he even landed anything more than like 30 splash onto Doge there, as his team protects him really, really well. This sniper is up again. He's respawned as sniper there.
There's a second jump in, Halfrock so low. Oh, and he actually goes down. Riot gets so far in there, and even Cookie gets deft as well. So this has been a great suicide. That's just a push.
Yeah, Ben looks like he's going to get caught out forward here as well, as this does come in. The sniper is still up. Raze is still sniping, and that is a really nice shot onto Doge, headshotting him as he surfs away from Rocky's rocket there. Spade and Raze just the last two up as they're trying to hold this choke. Spade is, Raze rather, is holding a really aggressive angle. Elmo trying to jump forward and do something. Spade is actually committing through the choke there, but rockets of Elmo there do take the medic down quite low, but that's, again, nothing happening. And this is quite a messy fight, as it's one down and everyone's kind of sitting in their own choke, not sure what to do.
There's a single scout behind here. Can you actually get the medic? No, it looks like there's just a bit of a meat wall in the way there of finding the medic. It's there's a lot of fighting and choke. People are just muscling through it, and it looks like just eventually Cookie's just going to come in here and do a bunch of house cleaning. The medic is very weak, but oh my god, Spade and Def just team up there and take down Cookie, and now it has turned around. It's actually 3-on-2, and I think it's just going to be Elmo desperately trying to get out through choke here. So that turned around real quick through some really nice projectiles coming out there.
Yeah, they're playing really well as a team, both teams, which is really cool to see. They're moving quite quickly and taking this ground and falling back, which is making for some really exciting TF2. They're jumping forward, waiting for these arrows. Riot was doing exactly that as I was talking. They do seem to not realize, I think, that they don't have Uberad here, do the blue team. Rather the Halfrong has 25 on them. They're kind of playing this as if it were even, kind of just sitting, waiting for something to happen. But these Ubers have evened out, and now nothing has come of it.
Yeah, I would have liked to see them at least try to poke in there, you know, but like it's one of those situations where you very often end up not being able to push in time as the sword jumps in. He has found the medic, actually does a really big amount of damage, and Halfrong even getting piped as well from the choke. That's Redcoat, right? Yeah.
Yes,
Redcoat
that's Redcoat.
did his best to try and spam down a medic, but here comes the counter jump as well. It's going to be another nice serve from Doge. Doge so far has been really good at surfing away and not getting out there. He saves his soldier with a nice arrow there. It almost looked like he just never lost any damage while he got hit by that rocket. But yeah, now it's actually 2 players down for red team, and now we're going to see it pushing in.
Yeah, that was really nicely done from the side of Doge, as you said, dodging around really well. Ben actually does take a frag out on Cookie. Yeah, and these Ubers are still even. And there's sort of some messy fighting happening in here as Sam is trying to see if he can eye out Spade in the lobby, and Spade does back off. They both just kind of reset there. This is now still even Ubers here. It would be interesting to see if they do decide to push on these both scouts being down, but they're taking it a little bit too slow, I feel, and they're just going to wait for sort of something else, and that something else does look like it's going to be Cookie coming up on Sniper. But as you say, that Riot does go down in lobby to some nice pipes from Deft, but they're just going to sit back on the pipe here and wait for Cookie to hit a shot.
Yeah, it's the good thing about losing a soldier like that is when you have a sniper that you can just sit back and then they have to push into that sniper, and as I've already explained, that is very uncomfortable for a team to do, especially with the Unanimous. That's just so uncomfortable. So now it's just a matter of, can we get Cookie into a nice position? I don't think I've ever casted Cookie where he didn't hit some big shot. You know.
Ooh, Deft hitting some spicy pipes there as well, cleaning up Riot as well. But they're still trying to muscle for this sniper, and that is the shot. Wow, that's a nice shot to drop Halfrong there, and this Uber is committed immediately through door 3, and they're jumping through. Spade is caught behind on that soldier. Soldier's jumping around nice. Rockets actually, as Rocky is jumping around in there, but there's a spy on the point. He doesn't get anything done, and that is the first round. After about 10 minutes, the first round dropping in the favor of Lollipop here. Heading into this second mid, who are you going to watch for this second mid, Beater?
I'll be watching Spade again, see if he's fast. But yeah, so far, like, medics have just really had bad games, right? They've been picked off so much. They haven't even been playing poorly or anything. But yeah, let's see. Spade is actually pretty fast. He's up on this high ground. Eventually, he's just going to get spammed down and wait for the medkit here. And now we just wait for the team to come in here, be aggressive. And once again, Sam going into this PC area behind lines. Now he comes back out, does a ton of damage. The Demo Man somehow not dead, but everyone else is. And now it's just going to be everyone else surging forward, trying to chase everyone down, and they get the medic. That's the pick they were looking for. And yeah, this is brutal. Nobody capped mid. Everyone just went forward and got everyone down.
Yeah, that was some really nice coordination there. We do see the pickaxe kill but being denied right at the very end there. That was such a shame, as those scouts just do clean up the soldier that was there. This is a free second point as well, because that was a big wipe, and full Uber ad heading towards last. We do see Ben sniping and Spade heavy, and we do see Ray's actually coming up. Oh no, he was thinking about engineer, but does change his mind in the end. But we do see some defensive off classes coming in, as this Uber is committed in through door 4, trying to spam out Spade up the top there. He's taking a lot of damage, but this crossbow is starting to keep him alive. Rocky jumps in at the very end, well-timed bomb from him, taking out the medic. Rays and Spade both die though, but Halfrong is not really in any danger. Actually, as I said, he does get piped by Redcoat, rather, who's still behind. He does manage to get him in the end, and it's just Rocky up as he does move forward in what was basically nearly a full server wipe, Beater.
Yeah, that was very close to everyone being dead on the server. Unfortunately, that favors the defending team, as in the blue team right now, just because it's going to be very difficult for a single soldier to get out there, cap out the point, and not die to the respawner. So he's just not even gonna bother. That's definitely the smart move. Both medics going down, but Doge has the advantage of spawning quite a bit early. He's just on a normal with no crits this time around, and you can see them just building in choke. They're playing it super safe. They're not really looking behind them, but I guess they don't expect spies. So they're just getting ready to move in here, probably through lobby. Sometimes people will go into one. You definitely see the medic in the one area. Yeah, that's where they're gonna go from.
Yeah, and they do just pop that straight away in through one, and they're trying to chase up into this panic room area, see if they can get some damage on this Putus, and they do. The Putus goes down, the gun goes down, and now they're sort of cleaning up all these frags really methodically. Spade looks like he's going to get cleaned up too. Spade actually playing Scout at the moment there. rather than the Roma that I was talking about in the pre-game. But they are just playing this cap and everyone is too far away to do anything about it. And that is a really, really clean second round from that last push beater.
Everything just worked out really well for them that entire round. Just clean mid, chase down, kind of failed push, but then they just got it anyway on the repush. Really good stuff there. Both demos are gonna just try and see if they can spam each other out. They don't really go very aggressive on themselves. So Spade actually goes in with the equalizer out for some reason. You know, why not take the extra damage? You know, that's just big ball gaming. And anyway, actually going to be Rocky going down first. So now looks like it's going to be a lot of his team just trying to get out while they send in someone for the medic, and Spade actually gets the medic. So now it's just Halfron desperately trying to get out, and he does have a scout to run with. So as long as he doesn't get caught out by this scout in lobby, but there's two of them. One of them gets taken down, Ben hitting his shots. Nice job by him.
Yeah, good medic protection there. And that is actually the first full Uber ad that we've seen on the side of Red Team. So hopefully they do something here. We've got Riot hiding in the corner and some nice sticky traps up. Krolek just jumps right past Riot without seeing him. Riot expects the medic to be there, but he's not. And it's only a scout, and Riot loses his life as the medic was pushing through IT there. And they do lose two in the demo as well. Redcoat losing his life. And this is still full ad as they push towards second here. This is a really, really good comeback here. Sam is actually sniping from door 2. I don't think they expect this lobby push as, IT push rather, but they must do now because they have absolutely fragged Elmo in that position. They're walking forward now. Sam is actually taken quite low and is forced to run backwards there. Spade loses his life, but they're in now fully uncontested into second, and this is a free second with this Uber ad still ready for them to push on to last beater.
Yeah, let's hope they actually go for it. You know, they got so much free space because of those picks they had. They could get in basically for free, and now it's just a matter of being fast. But it looks like they've actually been a bit too slow. They're going to move in right now, but so close to having the Uber here. Doge, yeah, he eventually gets it, but actually they bleed 2 players before the Uber comes in. The Uber is superior, and that looks like that's going to clean up basically everyone. Def's in lobby here, getting rushed down by a scout, and he's still in there. He might see if he can get onto the medic. Eventually, he's just going to kill himself. Yeah. He just gave up.
Spade is very low health. Looks like he's going to get taken down too. Yeah, that was a weird play. No one saw him there, but he decided not to go for anything and just kill himself. Ben is actually really, really far forward on this sniper, but they have spotted him, and they're not even giving him the shot, as they do rotate quickly through this PC area as they know that Ben is sniping, so they're trying to cut down those sight lines. He does hit a very nice shot onto Redcoat there, and that's going to stunt this push, and they're really slow making this move in as they're finally walking on towards the point here.
Sam has gone behind. Look at this. So Sam is on the medic behind. He hits one shot onto Halfron, he gets the second one, even gets the demo man as well. That is a juicy flank. Jesus Christ. It's just going to be Spade alive, and he is in no position to really do anything. So
yeah,
just, what a flank.
Yeah, Ben coming up on sniper as well. Oh, that rocket from Riot! He doesn't manage to connect the Market Gardener, unfortunately. They do force that sniper to back off as Elmo is walking really far forward and actually frags him there in the door 1 area. And this is a full Uber ad coming through on the side of blue team again, as they have completely reversed last to last as they're ready to Uber through, and they do this door 3 area. Krolek is jumping forward, seeing what he can do. They've really isolated Deft here, and they're starting to play the point a little bit already, but this is a little bit spacey here. There's not too many frags going their way right now. It's only the demo man, some big damage, but it's not converting into frags just yet. Looks like they're going to have to be forced to back out, although some nice arrows are keeping them in the fight. And yes, those arrows have reversed it completely. Halfron killing Redcoat in door 1, but he's not there to stop the point. Those arrows from Doge really kept his team in that fight, which is really, really good to see. And that is now 3-0 as we head into our 4th mid beater. Who are you watching on this 4th mid?
I just watch the demo man every time, right? It's pretty easy. Like, Spade has been pretty aggressive. And, he actually gets sticky mid-air. Nice deny sticky there coming up from Redcoat. That will definitely keep him at bay a little bit. Spade's going to try again, but this time around he's getting pelted down by Scout. Reyes is in pretty deep right now, and he's on this high ground. He didn't really get punished for it, but his own team, they're being pretty not methodical about it. They're just going in haphazardly 1 by 1, and eventually they just get cleaned up. And Halfron, he's way out of there, but yeah, a much better mid. coming out from Lollipop right there, that's for sure. It looks like Riot's going to see if he can actually catch out the Demo Man, but he will be the one who get caught out himself. But yeah, that was just such a better mid coming out from Lollipop.
Yeah, I'm a little bit more impressed on the red team side as well, keeping Halfrong alive, which is actually the first mid they've really managed to do that. So this is now even Ubers on last. Spade is coming in, seeing what he can do, but he's jumping into 2 scouts and nothing will come of that. Riot is jumping forward, hits a nice rocket onto Deft, but he's gonna sort of back off a little bit as it is entire the scout who comes in to feed, but the scout manages to force the Uber, and that is Halfrong on about 70 health, not wanting to get that second meat shot from Cookie come in. Riot is holding them back from pushing out here, and this is a really, really good position for blue team to be in, as they're now full health, full Uberad, walking back towards this last point now.
Let's see what they do with the full Uber advantage. It's just a matter of not bleeding players. There's not even a sniper right now. There's a pyro somewhere. He's going to see if he can blast everyone back. All right, he has actually kind of isolated the medic. He blows the medic really far back, but the scout can't kill him. He's so slow. There we go. Finally, Sam gets the shot.
And that's now stunted their Uber a little bit, unfortunately, as this Putus has like not really had too much damage dealt to him right now. And the demo is actually really low, but they're just waiting for arrows. Sam looks like he's going to get caught out in there as the rockets from Rocky run forward into door 1. He does not actually get anyone else.
Gets the medic.
Oh,
that's
very
really
good.
cute.
Yeah, Halfrong, sorry, not Halfrong, Doge rather surviving as well and managing to run out. But yeah, that's really impressive. The scout is actually in between him and the team, but he chooses to focus the wrong target there and not actually manage to do anything that. And now this is no heals versus heals. This should be blue team's fight to win, as they do get frags. Spade is actually in a really good position, hits a really nice rocket, does get piped down unfortunately, and nothing comes of that, as they never manage to cap that point. They're all on the door 1 side, and this Uber is flooding in through lobby. Rocky looks like he's going to lose his life to this fight. Doge actually does lose his life as well, though some nice stickies and pipes to clean up there, but that's not enough people alive, as that is the 4th round on the board for Team Lollipop Beta.
Yeah, they're looking so solid right now. Like, the middles are just not even looking close. They're just so good at sticking together, picking off the aggression as it comes in. It like just kind of trickles in a little one by one, and then they just pick them off and just roll from there. And it looks like it's going to be Elmo pretty quickly here. It's kind of jumping up on cages to spot everything. But now here comes the jump in again from the soldiers on the red side, and everyone else is actually walking forward. And this time around they do get Riot off really quickly, and this is so much better. Their aggression is just well timed. They're moving in, picking off the medic. It's gonna be Sam in. He's the last person alive. Can he kill 5 players? No, not quite. He's good, but not that good, and much better mid there. And they're gonna have a full advantage once again and move on to second. And this is one of those rounds where, like, it almost feels like a gimme, right? They can just roll all the way to last if they're doing it right.
Yeah, what they did on that mid was actually really cool, because they did the classic soldier distraction, Rocky just strafing circles in the air while the scouts and demo just walked all the way across mid, and the other soldier came in and they just dealt so much damage and farmed when everyone was distracted looking at Rocky in the air. So that was really cool, but Sam hits a great shot onto Deft. And that might stunt this push a little bit. They're still trying to muscle this right side, even without their demo. The gun is up as a level 2 already, and it's being spammed down very slowly as this Uber is eventually used. But Elmo playing his main now on that Putus, he's not letting anyone get anywhere near that point, and that's 2 huge Putus frags. As it's just the demo spawner and the medic running away. But ooh, Redcoat is trying to jump in. And is this
what
a
pause?
Pause? Oh no, there we go. It's back again. Riot does finish off that. Oh, actually no. Redcoat does actually get that frag. That was a really good teamwork there. That was a pretty great place to have that pause. Spade is in on the medic. Oh, he whips his skill stick out and dies for it, unfortunately. Elmo's still playing Putus as they're trying to muscle this forward towards choke. I'm not sure what he's up to here as he's playing IT. Ben is actually sniping all the way back into their sewer. Redcoat jumping forward, seeing what he can get, and this Putus is not coming into play, unfortunately, as they just force them out completely off that one Rocky pick.
Ben
Sam
is in, Okay, they just run past each other. That was kind of weird. They normally
The
scout
Uber,
each other.
yeah, Uber does get used in choke. Ben is staying behind them in sewer. I don't know, yeah, he has been seen there. But he does manage to hit the hero shot. Pudus is still fragging in the end there. Spade is taken down quite low forward, and he's going to make it out. No, he's not going to make that out, as Sam does clean him up. And this, I would say it's BM Pudus, but it's Elmo playing Pudus, so that's just what he does. But they are coming in here, trying to get that 5th round on the board. Rocky taken really, really low. The return Pudus is coming out on the side of Raze. Does get Riot, but he's not stopping the point. And that is 5-0. 5-0 to Team Lollipop on this first map of our best out of 3, Beta.
Yeah, Elmo, he was running as fast as he could, and he almost made it into the fight. And let's just give him the benefit of the doubt and say he made a big difference. Good job, Elmo. Yeah, like he was basically not in those fights at all. It just didn't matter.
The old Elmo strategy is let your team fail the push and then repush when everyone's low as Pudus and win and claim you're the best.
That is a good strat, though, because they have nothing loaded, and
yeah,
heavy,
you have
no
400 health as well. So yeah, I mean, it didn't need to happen, but I assume that was what the Pudus play was. He's definitely done it before. But yeah, we have some logs coming up for you in just a second here. Let me go find them. Who stands out to you on these logs, Beta?
The 2 top fraggers for sure. It's Redcoat and Sam. They both died 9 times, which is very low, and then they had 23 and 28 kills respectively, and they both had over 300 DPM, so just big carry coming up from those guys. And yeah, Deft had a pretty decent game as well. But yeah, Raze, you were kind of talking about him early on, and he has been struggling so far. He goes 9 for 16. And,
yeah, he does have good DM, but he just doesn't have the experience at this high level, and it really shows here. If you compare his impact to say Sam and Cookie, who are both the top fraggers in the server, and then compare that to him, and he was trying to play a whole bunch of classes, and he was just getting shut down at everything he tried to do, which is, I mean, I know it's not necessarily fair to look at a log in a 5-0 and say, oh, this guy didn't play well because it was a 5-0, but at the same time, it does kind of contribute to that a little bit when you're literally 2,000 damage below the next lowest damage there, which is kind of rough. But yeah, I mean, it's clearly those top 3 players, the 2 scouts, Sam and Cookie, and Redcoat, who really did quite a lot of work for that team there. Redcoat really showing his hand as one of the best demos around in Australia at the moment, which is really, really cool to see. Medic stats as well, we do see pretty similar heal stats, except that one switch off to Kritzkrieg for Doge that did kind of pay off a little bit, but not the second time, I guess. And then both healing the demos the most, but actually Cookie getting more heals than I assumed Elmo was pocket, but it looks like Riot actually got more heals. I assume they're just playing way, way more fluid. Kind of role like they did on Jasmine T a few seasons ago, where they played Rocky and Geo as pocket roamer, and they were very, very interchangeable depending on the situation. Whoever had the buff and whoever was in the best position to go for a sack would often just go for that sack, and they would rotate really, really well. I guess that's kind of what was happening here a little bit. Riot was definitely the one who was going for the most bombs, but Elmo was definitely not going for bombs, if you know what I mean. He was definitely going for it as well. But yeah, I mean, it was a 5-0, so hopefully we're going to see some sort of turnaround on this next map. This next map does look like it's going to be Gullywash. What do you reckon Red Team need to change around in order to counter the Blue Team's aggression here?
Well, the bad news is that Gullywash tends to be a good demo man map, and there's not really like a whole lot you can do to counter him. You can jump in the soldier to him pretty fast in the middle, but like other than that, it's just a pretty good demo man map. But like Deft has been doing pretty well on his own, so maybe that's not a big problem, but it is a map where you can shut down scouts pretty heavily if you play it right. So I think they need to be really keen on the flank and just keeping an eye on that, and try their best to see if they can just constantly bait out these scouts, because now they're going to be all confident, right? They're going to try and rush in there, take some 1v1s, and then go behind. that's what you see whenever you have scouts that are like significantly better than their opponent. They will try to go for those kind of plays to really make a difference in the game, and then you can try and just take advantage of that and just abuse their mentality to try and bait them into 1v1s, and then you just have like an extra player waiting around a corner and maybe have some extra heals on people, and then you just 2v1 them instead, and you actually get a pick, and then you can go for your own plays. So I think that's what I would be trying to do, just to basically try to play into the opponent's strengths and make sure that you try and abuse whatever they try to do, and then otherwise just focus on your own game. But man, these guys, they're fast. They're just going live.
Yeah, we do see the ready up for our second map here, and this is the second map of our best of 3 for these Summer Cup Premier Grand Finals. Who are you going to be watching on this mid? Is it going to be a Demo Man beater?
Oh yeah. Like it's actually interesting that you see Red Coat go through the lower door. Like them and usually go in very quickly, but quickly is what Riot did. They just onto Death, takes it down very quickly, and the Soda comes in here. We saw everyone. Doge went up to the enemy side, and everyone else just dove onto him, and somehow they didn't get him. And
yeah,
it's a good job.
Fantastic movement from Doge there. That was really nice to see as he kind of surfed that rocket sideways and then sort of anti-aim sort of spun around trying to dodge that scout. That was really nice to see. But this does sort of translate into a fairly large Uber ad for them, but Halfrong did live there. And that pick is not what you want to see when you're trying to hold last, and that is Deft, the Demo Man, going down as he's way too far forward, and this is definitely pushable. We're going to see them run into this last. The Pyro on Rocky actually is shutting them down quite a lot. This new Air Blast makes it so hard to aim, as they do buy enough time for Halfrong to get his Uber, and this is very much a failed push as they do try to run out as quickly as they can, saving as many people as they can, leaving out through that big door area, and that Pyro saved the day, beater.
Yeah, they often do, but especially considering that there was no Demo Man. So if they get into that, they can just put time on the point, put pressure on it, and there will be no stickies. But yeah, they definitely got out of there alive. A lot of good job being done here in Deft and Big Door. Sam's going to try and run behind. Cap Time is coming out here. 2 Sodas on top of the point, however, will block it. And this is
Spade is in such a good position. Oh, that surf and that rocket. Yeah, that was, Spade actually managed to get in behind, and that would have been the flank. Like, he was right on Doge, but his team just protected him so well. As everyone is actually quite low, but they're still committing to this push, and that is a Saw coming up from Halfrong, but he does lose his life instantly, and the Putis does get taken down, and that is your first round on the board, beater.
Definitely a general trend I spotted in this one round was just people jumping onto Doge, and then Doge just dodging it perfectly and everyone else getting cleaned up. That happened like 3 times in a row, basically. And he was just baiting everyone in there. This time around, Def's going to go up on the high ground. Doesn't get too much spam into Big Door, but everyone's pretty fired up as they come up through elbow here. So now it's just both teams standing on their own side, waiting for that aggression to come in. You can see Rocky jumping up onto his own side to get in there. Spade has gone down, so there's a 1-man advantage, but will they actually use it in here? Here it comes the jump in.
Wow. Halfrong was the most forward player on his team there. That was very questionable. It looked like they were posturing to leave, but he was posturing to stay. And that was really sloppy positioning. We do see a Gremlin not come to any consequence there as he gets insta-mulched, and Rocky gets insta-mulched as well. And Spade gets insta-mulched. This is crazy. They're just fragging everyone and walking forward. And this is full Uberad heading into this last point. We do see Ben on the Pyro here. They're walking forward, and this Air Blast is coming into effect, but he does actually get cleaned up this time. Deft gets cleaned up under the point by Elmo. Rocky doesn't get anything done, and these scouts are just looking at things and they are stopping fragging. This is crazy. These scouts are so good. Peter, what do you do when you're faced with these 2 scouts just holding hands around the entire map?
Yeah, it's a difficult thing, really. You can try and play to the really tight to the chokes and just not get them through ever and just slow down the game. Obviously, that doesn't apply to mid-fights. This mid-fight, they're just going to go in super aggressive. You see Spade being very aggressive, trying to buy time. They've actually taken the enemy side, and they've actually caught them in elbow. This is really good mid so far, but oh my god, Elmo comes in from behind. They just didn't spot him. He does so much damage. Takes down 2 players, basically, and all of a sudden it's just turned around. And man, it actually did end up going pretty well for them, but if they could just make sure that their one soldier didn't sneak in behind, it would have been so much better.
Yeah, I don't think they expected, blue team expected to be cut off so quickly there, because they were basically cut out of choke instantly and they couldn't get any position, and then they just all got caught in elbow and got a little bit mulched there, but that frag on half wrong right at the end by Elmo does mean that this is pretty much even Ubers now. We don't see any off classes coming into this last, but we do see Riot playing this Pyro and Sam playing the Engineer. These Pyros have been coming into effect quite a lot pushing into this last. I know it's quite choke point heavy as you kind of have to move through one of three narrow sort of doorways. And Pyro is very, very good at shutting down these doorways. But yeah, this new Air Blast is really, really good at shutting down people's aim as you kind of get shoved really hard and tend to waste a couple of shots if you're not really set up for it. But we do see these Ubers sort of head towards setting up. We might see some sack plays coming in. Looks like probably from the riverside as these Ubers do come up. But this sentry gun is in a really aggressive spot. It's going to shut down basically any jumper coming in, and this Pyro can reflect anything off it, which is really annoying to play against, but I'm sure is really satisfying to play. We do see a player trying to leak under into water, and he does get caught out. Cookie is trying to duel him, but the point is being played so much.
What the hell? He was called at everything. Like, they knew exactly who was there. There was a scout that was chasing him, everything. But what? Okay, he just literally stood on it.
That makes, yeah. That's like the brainlet around there. That's yeah, inexcusable at this level. He was so cleared. There was people chasing him, and he just stands there, absolutely crazy. And he's got the confidence now, and he's walking across that point, and he's shutting down Sam really quickly. As this mid is playing pretty slowly, as two soldiers try to leak behind Elmo, trying to wander up there. Does clean up Elmo as he, Elmo does manage to clean up. So losing track of it right now.
As well.
Yes.
Oh, Spade with a nice rocket onto the red coat. Yeah. Man, okay. I've been watching Elmo, and Elmo, he's been doing the same thing like every single middle, where he will go underneath and then he comes up from behind. So everyone else is standing up on the enemy side. And he's just been doing so much work doing the same thing on every single middle. It's only not worked once. No, actually that worked as well. So it's worked every single time. As Ben is sniping in Riverside, not gonna quite find a target there, but yeah, it's gonna be another Uber advance. It looks like it's gonna be Riverside push here. No Pyro there yet. But
looks like they've opted for a sentry gun at this stage. Rocky coming up on Pyro eventually. And this does look like they're ready to move through. Riot is actually trying to play underneath a little bit there. It's trying to dual deft, but he does lose his life to the big brain trap. This gun is on like 6 health and it's still alive. There we go, finally going down. Halfrong is caught out away from his entire team here. Does actually find someone in the end, but he does lose his life. Just raise up here as he looks like he's not going to win this fight. And that is the sword coming in to clean that up. And that's the third round on the board. They're looking to solidify their lead after that embarrassing round loss, Peter.
Yeah, that was... if there's anything that could get me fired up, that would probably be that. Like, it was, that would be unacceptable. I'm going to be looking at Elmo just to see what he's going to do and see if it's going to work once again. Spade's going to go in very aggressively, actually takes down Demo Man immediately. So already it has kind of worked. And, looks like Riot's going to jump in extremely aggressively.
Oh, Elmo does hit the horizontal onto the medic as he is surfing the rocket from the other soldier. Rocky is on that point trying to take a duel but does lose his life. Elmo just like waddled under the point there and horizontaled the medic. It was the only thing he did all mid. But yeah, and that is now another full Uberad push into last as they're looking to...
Sword being a hero?
Yeah.
Dead hero.
Yeah, he didn't really get too much there, but these stickies are actually coming quite far forward in lobby here. Riot having none of that, protecting his medic, jumping forward. And this is full Uberad with one player down as well, and they're looking to push this through main. Uber comes in. Pyro does actually manage to drop down, gets cleaned up by that scout really quickly. Rocky heavy underneath that point. Halfrong trying to go for saws. Loses his life for that. I mean, it's not necessarily the time for that hero play, I feel. Deft is taken down super low, Rocky is taken down super low, and now this point is being played. And that is the 4th round against only one in reply, which is the only round they've got all night, actually, Peter. Who are you watching on this next mid?
I've seen now Spade jump the demo man so many times that I'm definitely going to be watching out for that. It looks like he just wants to jump the demo man in elbow. So let's see if he can do it again. It looks like he's going to slow down quite a bit. He's actually just going to take a fight underneath the point here with Elmo. So both him and Elbow have decided not to go in aggressively, and they're just going to take it slow, and eventually they're just going to get taken down in this fight underneath. But we will end up having Lollipop just having the high ground, but they're all standing in the choke, and they didn't actually deny Raze from jumping up there. And now Def's going to jump up here as well. Gets arrowed in here, so this is anyone's game right now. Actually, Raze going to eventually end up getting panned out. And then Cookie gets taken down as well. And eventually we do see Confusion actually taking this middle fight. So, yeah, really good job by them. Just taking it kind of slow and actually winning the DM fight for once.
Yeah, that was really nice to see. We did see Doge manage to get out, though, while his Demo Man and Soldier were kind of trying to, and Scout rather, were trying to buy time for him. He did manage to just walk backwards there and live to even out these Ubers here, as we do see them coming actually really, really aggressively onto Riot. Riot, that arrow not hitting him, but it doesn't matter. He does still survive. Ben gets cleaned up in that choke. And this is one player sack on the red team there. We should see an answering play coming in from Elmo. Looks like it might be through Big Door, but Spade has kind of anticipated it and he's shut him down
Riot's
really quickly. Spade is coming forward to take this duel. Ooh, Riot. Nice rockets to clean that up there. And now that is full Uberad on the side of Doge as they do muscle forward through this choke. Cleaning up 2 frags on the flank, and it's just 2 alive. That sniper is alive, but Doge can just stand behind the nipple there and not take any damage. They do try to wrap this around through Big Door. The sniper's watching them, does miss his shot, unfortunately, but he does manage to set up for another one. The demo gets out without being seen, which is really nice. They are going to recycle this towards choke, I feel, Beta.
Yeah, eventually they're going to find their way through. There's no way they can be denied for an extended period of time, and unfortunately Ben has not been able to find a good angle on them. Cookie does get taken down by Def though, so that's a nice pick. That's going to mean that they have one less player in there. I think they're just going to go in anyway. Yeah, they're just going to go into main. There's a Pyro once again trying to stop this Uber, and he's doing a pretty decent job, but everyone's in there, but they need to just flash the Uber so much. Halfrong, he's actually doing a pretty good job of surviving here as well. And it looks like the Pyro did its job. It's just Elmo in this secret passage, and he's going to be down, and everyone else is out. Doge actually does get out alive here. He's going to be hanging out in Big Door with a Demo Man and a Scout, so he is safe. But a really good hold here on last. And Halfrong, he's about on 90% Uber, so they will have this going into second.
Yeah, I feel that was a little bit of a greedier push, but oh my goodness, Sam doming the medic, and that is now completely reset everything that's been happening as Deft is also taken down in upper lobby. Rocky trying to jump forward, see what he can get happening. I don't know if he's been seen. No, he does change his mind and run away as Spade does lose his life. They don't want to sack any more people. The Putus is actually playing in secret here, seeing what he can get done. Rocky jumping forward. Doge gets taken down super low. Rocky's missing the rockets here.
What?
Oh my goodness.
How's Doge always alive? That's actually crazy.
That is absolutely crazy movement from Doge, or absolute beef from Rocky, one way or the other. He survived that on such low health, and that
it didn't matter, but it was cool, all right. It's gonna make you feel good as a medic. That's for damn sure. Looks like Redco, he's gonna go in through choke here. He's actually gonna get spammed from the low ground here by Deft. And that's going to mean that he can't himself spam in. And now see Spade trying to go in through that elbow. He will not quite get anyone. But the positioning right now for Red is pretty good, right? As they move up here. As Riot actually jumps in onto the sniper in here. So it's 2-on-3, but the 2 players have the high ground. But it looks like...
Halfrong is... Oh, not caught just yet. He's very, very low. That is a big arrow from Doge, taking him down super low, as he does look like he is not going to survive this little bit here. There we go. Finally take it out. And they should just hopefully back off and play the point here. I don't want these guys to get too greedy. Looks like they're getting greedy. No, they do change their mind in the end there. Some spawners do come in and eventually start playing the point, as they got a little bit frag hungry just there, I feel.
Imagine the frag clip, Xander. You're thinking logically, all right? You're thinking about what's good in the game. You're not thinking about the cool frag clips that can happen here. It's actually, we see Rocky up top. He barely gets out alive, it looks like. And eventually he'll go back to last. There's a full Uber advantage coming out here from Doge. So they might just be going through main or shutter Maybe even River. I can't quite see. It looks like main's going to be in place.
Yeah, they do have a sniper sniping River, but this Pyro is again coming in there, and they're forced to turn around to clean up this Pyro, which always slows them down as they head towards this Brass Beast Putus, and the arrows do keep him alive just for a little bit longer, but the medic does have to rotate through spawn, which is just a little too late, and that is a 6-1, and that is both maps going the favor of Lollipop in this Summer Cup tonight beta.
Yeah, pretty convincing win there. The only round they lost was the worst round loss I have seen basically ever. so at least we can still make fun of them, I guess. But yeah, that was a very well fought and very well deserved win there for sure. They were the winners always. Like they should have won, and they did. So that's good. And of course, just big congratulations. I don't know if there's any prizes, or what was the purpose of this? Was just...
no prizes, no badges for this one. This is just like a fun off-season cup. Like you'll see a lot of the top players aren't necessarily playing. It's basically that team of Doge and Cookie, etc. And a lot of the other players aren't playing for these summer cups. You'll often see a little bit of a lower turnout for these games, but it's kind of just like a little bit of fun to have, in January when a lot of kids will have school holidays and things like that. It's just kind of a nice little fun night of video games, I guess it would be. But right. Yeah, it's just a little bit fun. Now, before we do have a quick look at some logs just to finish things up here, I think Doge died maybe once or twice. I'm very impressed with that. I'll have to look at the logs to back it up. I'm pretty sure he only died once or twice.
Yeah, he died once, so you're right. Yeah, he was extremely good at keeping himself alive. I feel like he should have died 4 times or something,
Yeah, he got bombed like every mid, and he got like bombed as like they were pushing in and out of last like several times, and he only died once compared to, what was that, like 12 on Half Wrong. That's insane. Like Doge was just so good at medic there, and you can see that he got 2k more heals than Half Wrong did, and no drops. Yeah, that's the medic play you want to see. That was like god tier medic, so I guess there's no rust on him.
No, I guess it's pronounced Dodge, actually, maybe.
I have no idea. I pronounce it Doge.
I pronounce it Doggy, but it's actually Dodge, I guess.
It's a very good one. I would pay that.
Right. Riot was the only one that hit an air shot in this game. I'm just pointing that out.
Yeah. I know Elmo definitely didn't leave the ground unless he had to, so there might have been a fair bit of that. But yeah, I mean, it's, obviously a little bit of a 6-1, a little bit of an unfair fight, but it was still some good TF2. There was a lot of back and forth despite the scoreline, and it was some really nice stuff to see from both teams, especially when they did have their mids work for them on the Unanimous Confusion side. But this team, blue team, is really strong. I know there's rumors of a LAN team possibly happening, and I'm wondering if this is an iteration of a possible LAN team, because there's a few names in here that I've heard might be going to LAN, but we never know. So this is a good start for, some LAN hopefuls maybe heading into the next year. But we're yet to see if any of that will come to fruition, but I've definitely heard rumors.
Ooh, I'd love to see that. It's been a while since we've had a really good Aussie team just show up and do some damage in the scene, It's always a good time when that happens.
Come forth again.
As is tradition, yes. But there's a lot of egos in Europe and America that need to be reminded that they're not better than fifth, It's all good.
Yeah, and one more time, just before we do head towards any sort of shout-outs and closing statements again, we do have some emotes on TF Live. Again, I'm not quite sure how it works. I believe if you subscribe to us, you will get an emote or several emotes, depending on how much you subscribe to us for or follow us for. I don't know how it works. But there are some emotes. We've been working closely with some designers, getting some good stuff out there. So if you're interested in supporting TF Live, there are some emotes available if you do want to, rock the support in chat. Some of them are pretty cool looking. I've seen a lot of them, which is always good to see. Other than that, this is going to be the last broadcast until season 24, which is coming up late February, mid-February. I'm not sure. Sometime quite soon, we'll be back with some new season coverage of the Premier matches in Australia. Do you have anything else to say, Beta, before we head on towards some shout-out action?
No. Like, ETF12 season is about to begin as well. I think there's a possibility that the first playoff or the Prem qualifier might go down tonight. Maybe it's going to be later in the week. Who knows? But that's going to be happening soon. ESEA has already started. So it's been like a very short off season, it feels like, and everyone's just getting ready. And this is the season leading up to Copenhagen LAN. So there's just a ton of teams trying really hard. And that's a lot of fun. And I can't wait. And I definitely plan to watch the ozfortress season this time around. So I can't wait for that either.
Awesome. Do you have any shout-outs?
I will just shout out V2 for getting everything planned, and Sean for showing up. That was before you burned bridges with your team and forever ruined the friendship. But it's always nice when people show up and do a good deed. So big shout out to him, and then shout out to Thermite for streaming, and you for catting with me.
Awesome, thank you. Shout outs to you, Beta, for coming in overseas and shoutcasting some Australian TF2. Always great to have the EU talent coming in. Shout outs to Thermite for streaming, for Widehoof for organising everything. Sorry for bailing on that open thing, guys. Hopefully you got a merc, I assume. Yeah, anyway. Awesome. And shout out to Xeno Discord and everyone else who I have forgotten. But thanks for that, guys. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back in season 24 with some more Premier coverage in Australian ozfortress TF2. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. Good night.